Okay, down at Anderson Creek this morning. Just a little spot that I've been working. Gonna do a few things a bit different today. Obviously got enough flow, but what I'm going to be looking for, or the areas that I'm going to be targeting, is places like this. Hopefully it will show up. But where there's rocks, larger rocks, and then I've got some finer gravels tucked in behind. Just going to try a few of these. Things like this where there's bedrock, and then behind the bedrock there's all these smaller gravels. So I'm going to try those sort of things. Got a few spots up there, so what I'm going to do is get me 11 litre bucket and just pretty much yabby pump straight into that. Do a bucket and see how we go. Okay, got, I don't know, half a bucket of materials that I've yabby pumped in the first spot that I tried up here. Might be able to see if I can zoom right in. There's a bit of bedrock right there. So, not this front one, it's the one behind, so right up there. And just sucked all the gravels that I could off the bedrock there. Got the sluice set up, and probably should have classified even smaller than what I have with the mine web classifier. But I'll give that a run and we'll see how we go. Probably gonna catch up a little bit, but if I get a bit of time to clear, I might just have to change the angle a little bit there. Seems to be clearing out, not too bad, getting a lot of movement there. So obviously it'd clean out a bit better if it was classified down. The larger rocks tend to jam it up a little bit, especially with the mini cell. So really should have brought the other one down, but just go nice and slowly. You can see it is clearing, just taking its time. I'll be able to see all the little rocks coming off the end as the lighter stuff floats over. So I'll do this bucket and see if we have any luck. So clearing out pretty nicely. Obviously because I've got some larger rocks and they're sort of a bit squarish or rectangular, sort of get held up a little bit. But as I said, we could classify a lot smaller. But I'm pretty happy with the way it's clearing. Always got to remember to keep the bottom of the sluice clear. Obviously once material gathers there at the bottom, sort of backs the system up. But as you can see, like, getting a lot of movement. I'm not like really sparing how much I'm dumping in, so I'm actually dumping in quite a bit. And you can see it's clearing pretty well. Obviously not all the cells, but you know, a lot of your gold's going to be caught. I reckon in the top 3. I reckon if you did a test and you tested the top 3 compared to the bottom 3, your top 3 would hold most of your gold. But I'm still on that first bucket, just feeding it slowly. Probably not set up perfectly, but you know, it's doing the job. As you can see, once the material all moves off here, it clears pretty well. These are the sort of rocks that I'm talking about that get held up a little bit. Eventually if I leave it here sitting here for a while, it'll eventually all clear. But yeah, I'll keep going with this. I'll finish this bucket off and we'll see how we go. See if we've got any colour in this first bucket. Okay, so I finished off the first bucket. I'm just going to leave that to clear out while I collect my second one. So what I've got here is a big rock. Behind there's or just here there's bedrock. Bedrock there again, and obviously a big or a deep crevice, you could call it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually dig all that out. I'm going to do that as my second bucket and just try here. Because I'm not really sure if I'm getting any gold out of the first place I tried with the small gravel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try in here. And hopefully that'll show up to how deep it is. It's a bit tricky getting the right light to get in there, but hopefully you can see that, make out what I'm going on about. So I'll dig that out. I'll try and get a bucket of material out of there. I'll dig it out first with the shovel, and then I'll yabby pump. By then, my sluice should have cleared out, and we'll see what we got. Okay, I'll clean the sluice out. What I got was just one little speck, so not a lot. Yabby pumped up here. I'll go up here. Have a look. Should be clear now. Hopefully you're going to be able to see this. So I've yabby pumped in there. It's actually gone down quite a ways. I'll use the shovel so you can sort of see how far I've gone. So nearly the length of the shovel there. I can see now, as I was yabby pumping, I couldn't actually see what was going on down there, but I can actually see that there's quite a lot of rock still in there, so I'm going to rip that out, depending on. So what I've done as well is I've got about half a bucket of material out of that hole with the yabby pump, and I've run through the sluice. Rocks jamming up, but that'll be right. I've actually misplaced my little V-mat, otherwise I'd have that on there, acting as an indicator. Can't really, maybe just there's a little bit of gold in the A. I don't know about there, there's some stuff blocking the lettering there, but I reckon in that A there's a bit of gold. So I'm going to clean this out again, and we'll see what we get in the pan. I'm not even going to pull that one little speck out. I'll just tip this in, pan it out, and see what happens. Okay, clean the sluice out again, and I did end up actually taking that little speck out. So this is from the I know half a bucket that I sucked up out of that hole up there. Nice little bit there, another bit there, so a couple, 3 or 4 little bits there, but happy with that. I think that was it. So maybe some micros in the black sand there, but I'm quite happy with that. So what I'm going to do now, because what I have noticed up there is there's a lot of rocks still. Now I often talk about the clay. I often show you some white clay here. And this clay was a darker sort of colour. Now, it's not to say you won't get gold in the white clay, but you've got to make sure that clay's got something in it. If it's just clay and there's no little gravels, there's nothing in there, then obviously it's not going to hold any gold. But if it's packed in with little fine gravels, little bits of gravel, and there's a mix there, then you know, it's worth trying. So what I'm going to do now is pull out some big rocks that are still there, or some larger rocks, and then yabby pump some more out of there and hopefully get a little bit more colour. Okay, so move some rocks out of the way, sucked up some more material. Got about maybe a third of a bucket of material this time. So feed that in. Need to adjust that sluice again. Put a bit more angle on it. Don't know if I've lost a little bit of water flow here or not. Oh, yeah. That'll slow it down a little bit, but I'll feed this through and see how we go. Okay, I'll run that, I know, third of a bucket through, and pulled out a few more rocks and did a little bit more yabby pumping in here. Now I've started to dig here. I'll tip that rock over. I'm not talking about the clay. The clay I'm talking about is like this. It's got gravels in there. Now hopefully, so you can see it's a bit grey. It's also got gravel in there. So that's what we're looking for. Looking for that clay with the gravel. That's where I've probably had the most success here at Warrandyte. So the bedrock here runs across the creek itself. Down there, as I was showing you guys before, with the shovel. So I was down a shovel. Now I'm a bit further, so if I grab that there now, and I've gone down another couple inches, maybe 3 inches, 2 or 3 inches. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig out what was underneath that rock. That's where I'm getting this clay again. So I'll dig as much as I can with the shovel. I should hopefully get a full bucket out of there, and yabby pump as much as I can, and then feed that through the sluice. I'll clean that sluice out first, and then feed it through the sluice, and see what that reveals. By then that'll have cleared up, and I'll be able to look and see again where I'm at and what I need to move. It's a bit hard to tell what's bedrock and what's a large rock, and once you move a large rock out of your way, you find more clay and stuff underneath. So I'll get back to it and see how we go. Okay, I was going to pull the sluice out, but I'm getting close to calling it a day. So what I've done is got another, I don't know, a third, half a bucket of material. I'm going to run that and do the final cleanup, and then I'll throw what I've got in the snuffer bottle, which isn't much at all really, in the pan, and we'll see what we get. Okay, I've cleaned the sluice out in the sun here, so we can see what we've got. So, got a little bit of colour there, as you can see. Also, a couple of bits of lead. So not a, not a great deal, but got a bit of colour. I suppose that's the important thing. Sun's out, but it's freezing. It's a lovely day out here. Like the sun is, sky's blue, and it's all good. No clouds. But it is cold. Might be about 10 degrees or something like that. Water's even colder. So pretty much my main focus was in there. Should be able to see that, I hope. Now looking at it, I can still keep working there. I can see there's still a lot of rocks that I've missed, but I might come back tomorrow and do a little bit more work here. That's me done for today. Some people may wonder why I come down to Warrandyte. I come down to Warrandyte to practice. It's close. It's on my way to work. It's not really out of my way too much. And, obviously there are a lot better places to go and look for gold. But unless you sort of know what you're doing, and I sort of know what I'm doing, no expert by any means. Each time I come out, I'll probably learn something new, try different things. Like today I said I was going to try and go with the smaller gravels behind some of the rocks, and I did that and got a speck. Didn't get really good results, so I thought I'd try something different. That sort of tends to, you come in with a plan and you walk out doing something totally different. Obviously your plan is to get gold, but where you think you're going to try and what you're going to focus on changes, especially if you don't start getting results. So I hope you are enjoying these little videos. A bit of fun for me. Like, subscribe, share if you can. But until the next outing, I'll see you all then.